Welcome back to Simply Shemane. In this show, I cover a wide variety of topics, from wine to funny pet videos, and I'm also interviewing Jeff Crilley, who is the owner and designer of all these studios. You might see me in different studios, but it's really in the same building. And what Jeff Crilley has done is created an empire for people to do podcasts. Rather than going into a television studio, he's made it all happen under one roof. So I can't wait to tell you about that. All right, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Patriot Mobile was built on the values of Americans. We are humbled, recently achieving the highest customer satisfaction among all wireless providers. As America's only Christian conservative wireless service provider, you'll receive great performance, and we'll donate a portion of every dollar earned to support your values. Try a wireless company that really cares about you and your values. Call us today, mention Shemane, and get our best promotion.
Well, my next guest is the reason that I'm sitting in this chair. In fact, this pink chair, it was all his idea. In fact, this whole thing is your idea. Jeff Crilley, thank you so much for joining me on your set.
I'm honored. And I just want to give a shout out. You and Ted are the most down-to-earth people I've ever met. Just, despite all of the fame and success, you're like, a neighbor. Yeah.
Well, from the time that I showed up here to take a view of the studio, I heard all about the Real News PR studios in Dallas, and I thought, I got to check it out. So it was our anniversary, and we decided, we don't normally, take a day and go on a drive. And we came up here, and we just happened to be here at a time when Bobby Ray was doing his show.
That's right.
And asked us if we wanted to join him, and we did. So on our 31st anniversary, we were on Bobby Ray's show.
Which was such an honor. I was like, are you sure you want to do this on your anniversary? And you're like, after 3 decades.
Yeah, it's like, what the heck? So tell me, what is this? Why'd you do this?
So I'm going to call this a happy accident. Actually, I guess should give my daughter the glory. My daughter.
Your daughter's amazing, by the way.
She's amazing.
She's amazing.
So she comes to me maybe 3 years ago and says, Dad, I think we need to start a podcast division. And I laughed at her. I said, podcasting? Who listens to podcasts? And she says, my generation, all of those young people jogging, listening to stuff, sometimes it's not music, Dad. And I said, all right, here's my credit card. Don't go crazy.
Wait a minute. You hold me at you got me at here's my credit card. Really?
I did.
And she didn't go.
No.
Okay.
She bought some little GoPros. We didn't have any lighting like we have now, and a little board and some mics. And as I was showing off our business, which is basically get people on the news, people were saying, ooh, cool, you've got a radio studio? And so we would go into the radio studio and they put their headphones on and they got real excited having their own show. And as I saw how exciting it was to give people their own show and the pride that they have in having their own show, I was like, wow, what if we just brought commercial television to podcasting? So anybody can come in off the street with an idea. We match them up with a producer who used to produce morning television or radio, and now they have a show. And I have to tell you that I love your show, Open. It may be my favorite show, Open, that we produce, because it takes people on a journey in 40 seconds that really sets the stage for this amazing show. And I love your show because it's so unpredictable. You never know what you're going to see. You never know who you're going to interview, but it's marvelous.
Well, thank you. And you've got several different studios that we haven't even tried them all out yet. But what are the different types that you have? Tell everybody about that.
So we call this room Oprah because it can fit up to...
We call it the Oprah set. Where are we filming?
The Oprah set.
This is in the Oprah set.
Well,
Diana put together a spreadsheet.
You know what? We're in the Oprah set right now, but as your show continues to take off, we might have to rename it Shemane.
Well, you gave me this chair.
I did. That's your chair.
This is my chair.
You got it. So, nobody can sit in the Shemane chair but you. We have another set we call the Newsroom because it's It's an anchor desk similar to what you would see.
I love that.
Yeah, isn't it cool?
Yeah.
I know you've used another one of our rooms that kind of looks like a cooking show.
Yes.
And then we have another set that we call the mid-century room. And then in another tower in the building, we've got other studios, and we're building more. And life is so good. And I'll just say the blessing for me is for 25 years of TV news, I was a storyteller, and I got to put a spotlight on people, right? And then when I started my PR firm, I was able to get people on the news and give them a spotlight. Now, giving people an opportunity to host their own show where they can put a spotlight on others is just like a multiplier effect. And the blessings that you're giving people when you feature them on your show is, it's an honor to be even a small part of making that happen.
And I'm sure it feels sort of like you're a proud dad, because you're kind of giving birth to each person's idea, the story in their mind. Wow, yeah, I could actually do a show with this set, with this chair, and with that background. And it really does help to have your staff is incredible.
Oh, thank you.
Just so professional.
Kind.
I mean, it makes everything so much easier. So thank you so much for putting everything together. This has just been an amazing experience, and I can't recommend it to everybody enough.
Well, and it just occurred to me that your husband is such a pioneer in the music world, and he was the guy that was playing music that wouldn't play on commercial radio, and he became a maverick, and he said, I don't necessarily need commercial radio to sell 40 million albums, and he did. I think we're doing the same thing in podcasting. You don't need commercial television to have your own show. Why not just start right away?
Right. And honestly, with the quarantine, I mean, more and more people are doing Zoom calls. Why not do them from a professional set?
You're very kind.
No, really. I mean, it's so much easier. You guys take care of everything. It's a no-brainer.
You're very kind. Shemane, it was an honor to be on your show. Thank you.
Oh, well, thanks for being here. Don't go away, because we'll be right back with more Simply Shemane, and I'll be in Jeff's studio with all of this. My intro.
Great.
Are we ready? Okay, here we go. He's always got to get the last word in. Right. Shemane, there's a lot of uncertainty in the world today. Stay at home. Don't stay at home. What's a talk show without music? In the house, I call him Hubby, but you might call him the Motorcycle Well, thank you for coming, honey.
Who's going to stop me? Thank you for having me. I love my guitar, and my guitar loves you. And you won the Battle of the Bands, and you opened up with the Supremes and the Motown Funk Brothers in Detroit in 1963. And everybody, real music lovers across America. I promise you, blues, rock and roll beast, somewhere, somehow, this year.
Okay. Okay.
All right, Shemane, I'm ready for you.
Okay. You ready?
3, 2, 1.
Let's see, I need a piece of tape.
So, somebody wait.
So are you going to say after? Scene 2, take 2. Hang on. 1.
Shelley Luther, the owner of Salon a la Mode, was initially forced to close mid-March after Dallas County issued a stay-at-home order. But despite
6
those
years or something, they're really good.
Cool. Well, there's
So-
great musicians in Texas. And I have a funny feeling that between the Semper Fi U.S. Marine Corps genetics and the fact that you love the independent freedom soundtrack of American rock and roll, that's where this all came from.
Maybe that. I press record right now.
All right, quiet on the set. Episode 4, Scene 1, Simply Shemane. In 3, 2, One.
Welcome back to Simply Shemane. You know, so many things have changed in our world